For a myriad of reasons, humans are obsessed with knowing the future, which is why yearly predictions in all sectors of the global economy are a thing. As usual, the experts have spoken, and today we borrow their crystal ball as we gaze into what 2023 has in store. Just a few caveats before we get into the video. When you've been in the world of predictions and forecasts for a while, you'll learn a couple of things, like how experts are actually pretty good at predicting the future, well, at least 1 year out. But then again, it comes to mind that these are the people with significant influence to shape the futures they predict. So there's that. You also discover that even the experts are human after all. So for instance, they can't foresee everything. I mean, who saw COVID coming? They are also quite susceptible to hype. Do you remember all the Web3 predictions everyone was making in 2022? Exactly. I'm saying this to say that when it comes to predictions, it's best to manage expectations. Many things that experts predict do come to pass, but others won't. And then, some things might literally come out of nowhere, radically transforming the global economic landscape. It's just the way of the world. With that said, what does 2023 hold? We'll begin with recession, since it set the landscape for the rest of 2022. Last year, when we heard Christmas songs on repeat, Wall Street made dour predictions about the global economy, and you could sum up all those prophecies of doom into one word: recession. The one word that makes everyone tremble, especially fresh off the back of the financially turbulent year that was 2022. Take it from analysts at Deutsche Bank. The recession we have now been anticipating for 9 months draws near. Our expectation for a recession in the US by mid-2023 has strengthened on the back of developments since last spring. Now, if you're thinking, but that doesn't look like the beginning of a recession, you may be correct. The reality we've come into since the start of 2023 seems to point to the opposite of what Wall Street predicted last year about inflation and recession. Take a look at these facts. US financial well-being is crucial to all other economies. After all, the US dollar is the world's main reserve currency. In December of 2022, the US added over 200,000 jobs. The tech industry also slowed down on layoffs. Let's also not forget that inflation has also somewhat slowed, and some experts predict that it would likely slow down even further as the year progresses. I do feel obligated to mention, though, that this was the same thing they said in 2021 about 2022. And we know how that story went. Putin advanced into Ukraine, and the relief we all expected to feel at the slowdown of inflation disappeared into thin air. Another thing many didn't see coming was the decline of mortgage rates. In 2022, rates for home loans all over the world took a relentless climb, as did many people's blood pressure. However, somewhere around 2 months ago, we started to see a steady decline in many markets. This has somewhat convinced economists that the rates will continue to cool in 2023. The only condition being that there isn't a sudden economic downturn. Now, for the sake of conversation, let's assume all things remain equal and there are no rude surprises in store. When you take all these factors together and throw in the fact that energy prices are decreasing even though they are still a little expensive, it might seem like Wall Street is beginning to sound a lot like the boy who cried wolf. There just aren't enough signs to predict a certain recession, generally speaking. But what do you think? Are you with Wall Street on this one? Or do you join the league of analysts who believe that a recession is out of the question for the United States and possibly even Europe? Throw your suggestions at me down in the comments, and hopefully I won't have a bot respond at you because the verdict is in and the jury's decision is unanimous. Artificial intelligence is taking over the world. To see technology displace humans from their jobs is not exactly a new thing. However, improvements in AI have grown in leaps and bounds, making the existential threat to whole industries more real than ever. There are so many AI tools today that are powerful, efficient, and did I mention free? And these tools are disrupting whole industries at an unprecedented rate. Think of ChatGPT, the language bot that can write whole essays in seconds. What about Midjourney, that helps users bring to life high-quality art pieces? And then there's AlphaFold for the science nerds and many more AI projects. Every single day, AI startups are cropping up here and there, forcing big tech to innovate faster or suffer the risk of extinction. Meanwhile, employees are finding ways to use AI tools to boost productivity. If you think the world has done much with AI last year, well, get ready because AI-powered activities are about to be on steroids this year onwards. Speaking of steroids, China's economy is bouncing back, together with its army of workers. For the better part of last year, China's economy was restricted by the stubborn insistence of its government on zero-COVID policies. However, Xi Jinping has finally okayed a reversal of the restrictions, which could see China enjoying a steady acceleration in growth. A huge reason for this would be the literal deluge of household spending, which every economy needs if it wants to grow. China's reopening won't only have a positive impact on its own economy, other economies are set to benefit as well. Think about the fact that most Chinese citizens are bored out of their minds now, having been forced to remain in China thanks to zero-COVID policies. What do you think many are likely to do once the policy is lifted? Jet out, of course. So, all vacation destinations typically favored by Chinese nationals are sure going to enjoy an economic boom in 2023. China's economic rejuvenation might likely give the US a panic attack, though, as it's no secret that economic rivalry exists between the two countries. Bilateral trade relationships between China and the US have only gotten worse with time, and yet another symptom that things are about to worsen is TikTok. No, I'm not referring to tinfoil hat videos spreading on TikTok. I'm talking about the storm brewing in the United States over the ban of TikTok. For a long time, there has been talk about banning TikTok, even though it always eventually faded into the background. This time though, things look pretty serious. There are even whispers that Apple will give the app boot this year. There are many reasons the US wants to send TikTok packing, but the biggest is the seemingly never-ending data privacy issues like the unending scarves in a magician's sleeve. China's reputation of secretly stealing information from whole countries and using it for suspicious activities is no news. The US already has forbidden employees from downloading the app onto government-owned devices, but soon it will be a nationwide prohibition. So if you love TikTok or do any sort of business with the app, beware, the clock is ticking. And since we're in the tech arena, this seems like a natural point to segue into the predictions for Netflix. The rumors seem too consistent to be untrue. Two big media execs have predicted that Netflix will likely undergo a merger before the end of 2023. The only detail these two analysts disagree on is the company Netflix will merge with. One of them said it will be Paramount Global, while the other said it will be Disney. Considering the facts, Disney seems highly unlikely, and here's why. Disney is currently valued at $188 billion, and Netflix also has a staggering market cap of $152 billion. There's no way everyone is going to sit back and let these two merge into one streaming giant that dominates the entire industry. Paramount, on the other hand, is a different story. It's a lot smaller with a $12 billion market cap. Plus, Netflix has actually tinkered with the idea of buying Paramount Pictures before. Now, both CEOs of Netflix seem to be on opposing sides when it came to their feelings for Paramount. But one of them, Reed Hastings, has just stepped down, so I guess time will soon reveal which way the pendulum is going to swing. And with that, we come to the end of today's video. And bear in mind, you can always invest in various companies, including Netflix, using our platform. Check the link in the description or simply scan the QR code shown on screen. However, please be aware that we're not giving direct investment advice or soliciting the purchase or sale of any company's shares. We're simply looking at the numbers to increase public awareness. Did you enjoy the video? Then let me know by hitting the like button and dropping a comment below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more informative videos like this, and I'll catch you on the next one.